All right. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is the eCom Sellers Mastery Shopify training. This training is over the next uh, 12 weeks, technically 13 weeks. I just noticed that this says Q4 on it. So I just want to change that, make that change real quick. So this training is over the next 12 to 13 weeks. We're going to be going through the exercise of actually creating a Shopify store. So a little bit about myself. I am the co-founder and creator of all things eCom sellers related. I've been selling online technically since 2014. I've been selling offline since 2008. My journey has been a very interesting one and a long one because of necessity. I have two special needs kids. And so because of the fact that I needed money, or always do need money, for their therapies, for their diet, and for helpers in the house, I've always had to be creative about raising money. So I actually used to host garage sales, multiples in a year. I think in most states and counties, they only allow you so many garage sales per year. And I actually exceeded that quite a bit. I would collect donations from others to be able to, those that were going to donate things to their local battered women's shelter, DAV, thrift store. I would take their donations and list their things online. I was listing on Craigslist early in the day, and I used garage sales to raise money for my kids' therapy. So I do have two special needs kids. They're much older now than they're 16 and 14. And right now, one's about to be 15. And I'm also the vice president of a nonprofit that supports families and individuals with special needs. So over the next 12 weeks, technically 13, we are going to be meeting at 9 o'clock every morning, 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We are going to go through 8 live sessions. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to ask any questions, to walk through any challenges that you're having in your Shopify store. So the sessions are listed here. They're also in your email, and so you should automatically get notifications. I think the notifications are set up to go out like one day before and maybe 1 hour before. So as long as you're registered on the Zoom link, you will get the notifications. And you may also want to just add them to your calendar. We will not have sessions on Christmas or New Year's Day, the 15th in January. And we won't have them the 19th and the 26th in February. That's typically when we host our eCom Seller Summit. So this session is actually expanding over 13 weeks instead of 12 because of the fact that the summit falls on the 26th. So all of our sessions are Zoom recorded, and the recordings will be located in your back office within 48 hours after the class is completed. Those recordings will be unedited. So we will eventually edit them, but they will be unedited. And you should have received an email that kind of gives you the link to go and create your account. If you're already a Mastery member, you just needed to log in and you would have access to a new section. In addition to that, so assignments will be given out at the end of each class, things that you should walk through and do. We will also be talking about the things that you need to do for the next class in the actual sessions themselves. And then from time to time, we may email you instructions, videos, or templates that will be distributed to you as needed through email. More than likely, they'll come from ecomsellersmastery@gmail.com. They may actually come from info@ecomsellersmastery.com. So one of the two of them is where they'll come from. And if you have additional questions after this session, there's a link inside of your welcome email that you can attend our live Q&A session. It's typically every Saturday at 2 p.m. We moved it to 3 p.m. because we have a few classes. So Saturdays at 3 p.m., jump on the link if you're in the middle of creating your store and you run into any challenges. I'm going to go over to eCom Sellers Mastery real quick, and I want to show you how you log in. So when you go to www.ecomsellersmastery.com, it will automatically default you to this page. It says eCom Sellers Mastery 90 days. And there is a membership login at the top. You click on the membership login, and if you've already created your account using the links in your email, you'll just log in. I'm just going to warn you, I never remember what my passwords are, so I might fail the first time. I don't know. Let's just see. Okay. And then once you log in, this is what your back office will. Yours will not necessarily look like this because I have access to everything under eCom Sellers Mastery, but you will definitely have a section that is called it's called Shopify 90-Day Intensive. You will see the previous sessions are already here. We've already gone through the workshops. So the prior sessions are here, and you will have access to the new sessions. So these will be redated, and you will see a new set of sessions for the live recordings that we're doing right now. So I just wanted you to know where they're located. And then materials, as those materials become available, will be located under Shopify resources and templates. You'll be able to access those and download them as needed. Okay. And if at any time you have questions, you can always type them in the chat. So I'm going to step through what we're going to be covering. So today we have session 1, and we'll talk about session 1 in just a second. Session 2, we're going to be talking about keyword research, your themes for your store, some of the features and functionality of your store. We're also going to begin the process of creating your Shopify account. So we're going to talk about what you need to do to create your Shopify account and attaching your domain. So we're going to actually step through the domain pieces of it first to make sure that you have everything that you need to get ready to create your account. And then we're also going to talk about acquiring your social media assets that are associated with your account, especially if you're building a brand, and the different sections of the Shopify store. The great thing about Shopify is they do give you a 14-day trial. So we're not going to create our stores today. We're going to create them next week or the following week so that way you'll have the opportunity to take advantage of that full 14-day trial, get your store up, look at it before you start paying. In session 3, we're going to be going through the numbers. We're going to add some products to your store. We're going to optimize some listings in your store and step through those activities that are associated with that. And we're going to talk about how you can connect or import print-on-demand products to your store. And session 4, we're going to go through the shipping settings, the rest of the page settings, all of that, along with the discounts, attaching or beginning the process of setting up Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google ads. And by the end of session 4, you should have a store that is 90 to 95% functional. In session 5, we're going to integrate any remaining apps that need to be integrated or talk about the sales channels that you can integrate to your store. And we're going to talk about what you need to do. This class will actually be session 5, I think, is January the 29th. And so Black Friday, Cyber Monday checklist does not apply, but we're going to talk about launching strategies at that point. So anything that we talk about in that session, you can use that for your Black Friday next year. You can also use those strategies when you get ready to launch your store this year or next year. In session 6, we're going to talk about Keepa, bundle social signals, reverse sourcing, and some other selling strategies regarding your Shopify store. We're also going to take a look at or begin the process of taking a look at subscription boxes. The great thing about subscription boxes is, again, your Shopify store is perfect for that. In session 7, we'll take a review of everything that we've already covered, and we're going to talk about outsourcing to a VA, and also outsourcing some of your other operations. Like, if you're going to automate shipping, we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive of what's involved in outsourcing shipping. And then in session 8, we're going to talk about scaling your business and tools that are associated with that. So we're going to really break down your store, everything that you need to do. You'll be able to come back to this in your training. If you want to build your store from scratch, you'll be able to watch sessions 2, 3, and 4, and we will be building each part of your store from scratch in those sessions. Today, we're going to be covering mindset. We're going to talk about a real work schedule, why you should consider Shopify, different store models and business models that are associated with building a Shopify store, understanding some niches, sourcing, and we're going to be talking about some sourcing locally. And as we get through this, we will actually take a deeper dive into sourcing non-locally. We will provide you with a list of wholesale suppliers as part of this class. I think we have, the number is either 2,000 or 3,000 wholesale supplier list that you'll be able to use in your business. If you decide, like, I want to sell a specific niche. So maybe you want to sell picture frames. Maybe that is your niche, and you want your store to be focused on all things picture frames related. Then you'll have a list of wholesale suppliers that are picture frame, that sell picture frames, and you'll be able to go through that and use that to connect with some of those wholesale suppliers, establish wholesale accounts, and hopefully they'll have an integration option with that. And then we'll talk about next week's assignment. So as part of this class, your assignment will be, of course, to work through a real work schedule. So before I get started, are there any questions? So the great thing about Shopify, and parts of this is may or may not be directly related, because with Shopify, it is all about whatever the product is that you decide that you want to sell in your store, what kind of store you want to set up, if we're doing a brand or not, are you doing a generic store? Most people are successful in Shopify if they are focused on a niche. So when you're thinking about what is the revenue that I'm trying to generate for my store, what is the amount of money I'm trying to make? So profit in the next 90 days, well, your store won't be alive the next 90 days, but maybe the 90 days following, at the point when your store is alive, you might think about what are some of the numbers that I need to reach in order for me to get, the revenue that I want to have for my store. So in the next 90 days, if you just want to make $2,000 after you get your store up, just $2,000 total versus $2,000 a month. To get to $2,000 total, period, over a 90-day period, you'd need to have $166 in profit each week. Our goal is, of course, to make more than that. But again, you're starting small, you're getting comfortable with your store, you're understanding how the store works. So you may have a slow go of it. And then the following 90 days, you may pick that up, and your goal would be to reach at least $72 in profit each day to get to $2,000 a month. The same thing with $4,000. Again, your first 90 days following the launch of your store, as you implement different strategies to help you gain more traffic to your store. In your first 90 days of having your store open, if you'd like to at least make $4,000, you got to have $333 each week in profit. Beyond that, if the following 90 days, which is at that point 6 months, if you're trying to get to $4,000 a month, you have to average, of course, $1,000 a week in profit, or $143 a day in profit. So you want to establish in your mind, what is your long goal? What's the long game for you? What is it that you want to do in your business when it comes to trying to reach your financial goals with the Shopify store? If it's just to get the store up and running, to see the platform, to see if the platform is going to work for you, that's fine. You may just have some smaller goals that you want to test drive Shopify for a short period of time. You may think it's for you. You may not think it's for you, but it gives you a window to think, to try and, give the platform a chance. So if you're trying to get to $6,000, then you, over a 90-day period, you got to make or have at least $500 in profit, which is at roughly $72 a day. And if you're trying to get to $6,000 a month in profit, then you got to have $1,500 in profit each week. or $214 in profit each day. So think about what you could be selling that might sell. You may find some products that sell like, I don't know, a couple times a week, and the profit on them may be ridiculous. The profit, you could have products that you sell that have an amazing margin where the profit is, $75, $100. And so you could probably reach these numbers much easily, much quicker. If you have products that maybe have a lower profit margin, maybe the profit margin is $20, $30, $40. Again, it's going to take you a lot more sales, a lot more transactions to get there. So if you don't have a store idea in mind, and you don't know what your profit margins on your products are, I'm going to encourage you to be thinking about strategically what it is that I could potentially be selling and what are the potential profit margins for those products that I could be selling. Okay. And we're going to talk about product ideas. We're going to talk about a couple of different things that maybe help you on this journey. And I am going to say that these sessions may end up being about an hour and a half to 2 hours, or try to keep them under 2 hours. So we'll go from there. Okay. So your mindset over this period of establishing the store and also just being an e-commerce seller in general is that none of this works unless you commit. We already know that. So you have to be patient with yourself on this journey. Stuff is going to happen. You have to give yourself some grace and mercy. And the great thing about Shopify is you don't have to be a tech genius to make this work. You don't have to be a tech genius. You can, be a person that's sort of a novice. And as we step through this, you'll go, oh, I can do this. So I just want you to be patient with yourself. I want you to also be patient with your business as it grows. Remember that this is your business at the end of the day. You're the owner, you're the decision maker. Everything that happens in the store is because of decisions that you made, whether it be the products, whether it be how you decide to set up the store. Again, if you run into technical challenges, some of them I may be able to answer, some of them I may not be able to answer because I may not have encountered that issue, but you have great customer service with Shopify. I want you to be persistent as you're going through this journey. Be prepared to pivot. I think the next 12 weeks, 13 weeks, as the cost of goods start to continue to rise, as the cost of shipping continues to rise, we all have to get even more strategic in the products that we decide to sell and the price points we decide to sell them at. So just be patient with yourself on this journey. And remember, the people are continuing to buy online. The latest stats for this past Black Friday, Cyber Monday was that I believe sales grew, or they're predicting the sales by the end of 2021 are going to grow by 10.4% online sales. So people are clearly continuing to buy online. Sales are continuing to happen. You have an opportunity to grab a piece of this pie. So as part of your journey, for me, your why, the mindset around your why, all of that really matters. So if you don't have a piece of paper or a notebook and a pen, I want to encourage you to grab one. And I want to encourage you, if you want to pause the video at this point, or if you want to just stop for just a second, I will pause for just a second. I want you to write down 3 reasons why you took this workshop. Okay. What are the 3 reasons why you took this workshop? If I were taking a Shopify workshop, maybe there is a product that I really want to bring to market. Maybe I want to start a subscription box. Maybe I already have a product and I'm frustrated with Amazon because they keep changing things. And I really want to take that product and maybe focus on a niche store for it so I can drive traffic to it on my own. Maybe I want to own my customer data. Maybe I'm just curious about Shopify. So what is your reason why you took this workshop, this course? The other thing is, what motivates you? What is your why when it comes to motivating you and keeping you focused? On this e-commerce journey, I've seen so many people get started and quit, started and quit, started and quit. And they do that because there's a hurdle. There's a lot of people that are leaving Amazon right now because they're just frustrated with the continual changes as Amazon goes through its evolution. And so they're not flexible. Maybe they're not flexible enough to be able to go through the evolution with Amazon, or maybe they don't like change. They like to set it and forget it. The one thing about life is nothing stays the same. So as you are on this journey to creating the perfect Shopify store for yourself and your business, there's going to be changes and things that have to be modified about your business. And at that point, sometimes people just give up and walk away, or they say, okay, I'm going to continue to persevere through this because I see the end result. I'm trying to get to this destination. Your why will always keep you focused on whatever the destination is, whatever the end game is, the reason why you're doing a course or the class or whatever, the reason why you're investing the time into your business. Your why will always keep you focused. So for me, my why is my kids. It's always about their therapy. It's about making them the best human beings that they can be while I am still here, so that I have the opportunity to help them survive and thrive in this world when I'm no longer here. So every day it is about the investment in them and making sure that I have enough money to be able to cover their therapies, their special helpers, their diet. All of that matters. So my question to you is, what is your why? Because when I get frustrated with anything, they remind me that, okay, right now, this is not about me. It is about the money that's going to help me pay for that therapist, or the money that's going to help me pay for that diet or that special treatment. And so I'm going to keep going. And as the platforms, evolve and change and make changes and change the rules on it, I am always reminded by them to keep going, to persevere through this, push through it so that I'm not frustrated. I will be frustrated, but I don't give up. The other thing is, there are product ideas that are living inside my head, and I'd like to get them out before I leave this earth. So again, that is another one of my whys, is that I have all these amazing product ideas that I feel like will be a viable product that I can sell. So that is another one of my whys. So write down what your 3 reasons why you took this class, and then also what motivates you. What is your why? So that you can come back to it when you get frustrated. And sometimes we do an exercise where you put the why on the wall, or you put it somewhere where you can see it every single day as you are trying to learn something new and grow. Because growth can be painful. Ask a bodybuilder, as they are trying to build their muscle. Every time that they're lifting weights, they're tearing down the muscle to build it back up. And so as you are trying to learn something, there's going to be things that maybe there's thought process that you had or things you have to learn that you're going to have to break through in order to build this up. So write down what you like, enjoy, or what excites you about e-commerce. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe it's all about the money for you. But maybe there is something about e-commerce that you enjoy. There's something about the hunt of inventory or finding something that it sells. And so you're really excited about a product that you brought to market for customers. What excites you about e-commerce? And then if you fail in this e-commerce journey, before you quit, let's just say if you fail, what happens? How will this impact your life if you fail on this journey? I can tell you, I have failed at many things. And I will say that all of us have failed in life many times. Example, when we were little babies, toddlers, we failed many, many times trying to learn how to walk. It is very common. We watch it all the time. We love watching little kids learning for the first time to take that first step. They look like drunk little people and they're stumbling forward and wobbly and falling side to side. But on those journeys of falling over and over again, and we got back up as toddlers. And so again, on this journey, like if you fail, what's going to happen? Are you done? Are you throwing in the towel? Or are you going to get back up again? Are you going to keep going? So your activity is to write down your reasons why, what motivates you, what do you like about e-commerce, and what happens if you fail on this journey? Because again, we've all failed many times. We have, but somehow we're still here. We failed at learning how to eat as toddlers. Okay. I can guarantee that 75% of the food was probably on our shirt, on the ground, on the table, wherever, but we eventually got the hang of that eating thing. We eventually got the hang of that talking thing. We eventually got the hang of many things. And now, as humans, like we are successful adults, we have mastered the art of walking, and we have mastered the art of eating. We've mastered the art of drinking. We're drinking water. We'll just say liquids. We won't say alcohol, but we've mastered the art of some stuff. So I want you to think about, if you fail, are you willing to get back up again? And remember your first job. Like, I'm sure your very, 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 very first job. I'm confident that there were things about that job that you had to persevere through and that you didn't quite get right on the journey of learning how to be an employee for somebody. So think about that. All right. So write those down. I'll take like 30 seconds and give you a chance to write those down. Okay, so the next exercise and activity, we're going to talk about a real work schedule. Most successful e-commerce sellers, they are consistent and persistent. So, they're motivated to continue to persevere through whatever challenges they run into their business. And one of the things that they do well, in most cases, I won't say that every successful e-commerce seller is this way, because I've met a bunch of them and I'm like, oh my gosh, how have you been successful to get to this point when you're not organized? And they were able to stumble through, building their business up. And so now they're at a place like, oh, now I'm forced to get organized because I'm making so much money. I have to get organized. So I feel like time management is one of the biggest factors in those people that are successful in their e-commerce journey, even if they stumbled forward over and over and over again, imperfect action every single day in their business, but they were consistent about that imperfect action. They just kept taking steps forward. So that is one of the things that I've seen, is that they're at least consistent and they've been able to build and scale their business. There's a lot of successful sellers that I know that are organized, but there's also some that I know that are terribly unorganized. And but they were able to, again, grow their business like crazy. And the one thing that they all had in mind is that they were consistent, period. No matter what, good or bad, they were consistent in their business. No matter what obstacles they ran into, they were consistent in their business. So in this whole idea of building a real work schedule, consistency is the key. A schedule will help you to be consistent. It will be sort of the checklist that will make sure that you've done, what did I forget to do today in my business, so that I can make sure that every day I'm doing the things that are going to help me grow and scale my business. So it's going to help you to build those habits. The schedule helps you build the habits, and the schedule also helps you build the consistency that builds the habits. So schedule is the driver in this whole thing, building a real work schedule. So my question to you, activity number 2, is that when you are thinking about your current life and your current business, how consistent are you? Like, do you have a real work schedule? And have you actually been able to execute that schedule all the time? So taking a step back, right now in your business, if you're not being consistent at all, what is stopping you? What is causing you not to be consistent? What's getting in your way? Is it that you're in love with a TV show and that you have to stop and watch it all the time? Is it that you're working a job that is so demanding that you don't have a lot of free time and you're exhausted at the end of the day? Is it that you are maybe, you're spending a lot of time taking care of your kids and you just have no time for yourself? Is it that maybe you've been ill? I can tell you, I've been ill. So my ability to be consistent has frustrated me to no end at times because of the fact that I've been ill for a while. So what is stopping you? What is your hurdle? What's getting in your way? What is distracting you? When you know you should be working in your business, why are you not working in your business? And you have to be honest with yourself. It's not for you to answer the question to me. It is for you to answer the question to yourself, because this is sort of the truth bomb in your life. So on that notebook paper, you need to figure out what it is that's stopping you from being consistent in your business. Is it because you really never built a real work schedule? Is it that you are haphazard and you work in your business randomly when you think about it, like it's an afterthought? Is it that you have too many things going on, or that you're always exhausted? That's entirely, possible. Is it that you have too many other things going on? Is it that you spend a lot of time socializing on the phone and on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, TikTok? And so you find yourself, or YouTube, and you find yourself in the vortex of wasted time that you could have been investing in your business. So I want you to really peel back the onion for yourself personally. What is it that's stopping you from being consistent in your business? What's getting in your way? Is it you? Is it your lack of organization? Is it your lack of habits? Is it your lack of concern about really growing your business? Because again, those people that I know that get into the business and they quit immediately, they say the thing doesn't work, but they haven't been consistent and honest with themselves about the effort that they put into the business. They think, oh, okay, I worked on my business for 2 months for 20 hours, and I don't understand why I don't make $10,000 a month. Like, it's going to take a little bit more than that. So what is your distraction? Is it that you spend too much time on social media? Is it that you spend too much time, on YouTube? Is it that you spend too much time socializing on the phone? You may be on a journey. This last 2 years have been really stressful when it comes to mental health for individuals. And so maybe you're not yourself because of the fact that this has been a stressful journey over the last 2 years. And that's entirely fair as well. But this is your opportunity to be fair and be honest with yourself so that way the goal, the objective is going forward in your business. What are the things that we need to do to help you to grow it and to help you to be more successful and to try and solve some of those problems that are the obstacles that are getting in your way? The next thing is, when you think about your e-commerce business and you're being honest with yourself, how many hours per week are you really committing to your business? Like, how many hours are you really working in your business? How many hours per day are you really working in your business? When you say, I'm working on my business, I have talked to people, and I've done it myself, so I'm going to be honest about it. I have talked to people where they say, well, I work in my business every day for 2 hours. But the reality is, when you sit down and you think about it, were you really productive for 2 hours? Did you really just set that 2 hours aside? And in that 2 hours, you really only worked for 20 minutes because you were doing some other stuff? You got distracted by the kids. You had to stop and fix dinner. You had to go get the clothes out of the laundry. You had to stop and go pick up your child from work. Like, were you really focused 100% without distraction, without anything else in that 2 hours? Or was there a bunch of other things going on and that's just the set aside time that you gave it? So you have to be honest with yourself. Do I really have dedicated time in my business? And if so, what is that dedicated time? Because in order for anything to grow, you have to invest time in it. Okay? Perfect example is, okay, for your kids to be able to grow and be functioning human beings, you had to invest time in your kids. You had to teach them how to dress themselves or take a bath or, feed themselves. Or in order for you to have a marriage, you have to invest some time into that relationship. And in order for you to have a relationship with Christ, you have to invest some time into that relationship. In order for you to be a successful employee for an employer, you clearly invested some time. Whether or not you were focused 100% always on the job is a different story, but you had to invest some time. So how much time are you really giving? Really strip back, peel back the onion and the banana peel. How much time are you really giving to your business? Are you saying you're going to work on your business, but you're sitting there and you're doing 3 other things when you should be focused? So just be honest with yourself. And then the other thing is that most people don't realize that there is a productive time of the day for everybody. For some people, it's first thing in the morning when they have, gone to sleep and woken up, and then they hit the reset button and they are the most productive. They are the entire day in the morning. So I'm going to give you an example. When I started my retail arbitrage journey, in the mornings, like when I first wake up, trying to create listings, or earlier in the day, trying to create listings manually, I could get through, like, my time was 6-minute listings on eBay when I first started. 6 minutes per listing, I could knock them out. Okay. And then so in an hour, I have 12 listings or so, or whatever that math is. And so I could get 6-minute listings and be done. Like, okay, I was able to get some listings up. If I had to take that same time and do that at 9:00 at night, it would take me 3 times the amount of time just to do the same number of listings. It was just crazy. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Like, it would take me twice as long. And it was crazy. I didn't understand what was happening. And that's because the most optimal time of day for me to actually work in my business was in the morning. If I tried to work in my business in the evening, I wasn't going to be able to get anything done. So the only thing that I could do in the evening was mundane stuff that I didn't have to really challenge my brain to think about. So I'm not going to sit down and reconcile my accounting at 9:00 or 10:00 at night, because my ability to go through the numbers and to think about, oh, well, that's off. Well, those percentages are off. Well, that ROI is off. Oh, I was missing this tax, or I don't know all of that ability to think and rationalize through it, or to make good decisions about sourcing inventory, was not happening at night. Like, I could go through and look at some inventory and I go, oh, that looks like it'd be good. But then I wasn't going through and doing the analysis of whether or not, is this product selling? Is this product getting any traction? I was not, I would think through it at a high level, but taking that deep dive and that deep analysis that I needed to do, I was not able to do that. I was able to do it in the morning. But in the evening, there was something about the evening. I don't know if it's because the kids came home and I have to shift into mommy mode. I have to take off the business hat and I have to put the mommy hat on, and I got to make sure the kids get fed, and I got to make sure they get their medication. I got to make sure they get their shower. I got to make sure they get in bed, like all of that. So it was a pattern interrupt in my thinking. And I'm not able to do the high level thinking that I can do when the kids are not here and in the morning when my brain is fresh. You all have an optimal time where you are most productive and you can get the most things done. You need to know when that is, because you literally could get double or triple the amount of work done in that window when you're working in your business, if you know when it is for you personally. Some people kick it into overdrive and they are great at night. They are most creative. The juices are flowing for them at night. And so in the morning, they're just like a slow go, like, okay, I need a cup of coffee. Please don't talk to me for the next 30 minutes. I can't even think right. I left my keys. I left my wallet. Where's my shoe? Oh my God, I don't even have on the same color shoes. Like, they're just, their morning is rough for them. But you have an optimal time of day where you are the most productive and you can get a bunch of stuff done in a short period of time because you're very focused and very committed. What is that time of day for you? Now, you may not know the answer right now, but I challenge you over the next 12 weeks. I challenge you to think about what that is. When is it? When does it happen? You need to write it down, because this is that window when you're thinking about growing and scaling your business, when you're thinking about being consistent in your business. If you can and if it's possible, because it may be while you're at your job, if you're working your job. So you need to figure out when that window is. And you may be able to put things or insert things into that window regarding your business. If you can operate your business in that window, that would be great. But if you can't operate your business in that window, are there things within your business, different actions or activities in your business that you can insert into that window that will actually improve your productivity, improve your output versus the way that you're running your business right now? So peel back the onion on what you're doing in your business Think about how you're operating your business, because all of that matters as to why you're either not getting the results if you've been running a business for a long time, or if you're a new entrepreneur and you're just starting on this journey. All of that matters. And it's an opportunity for you to try and make sure that as you continue to work on building your business, that you're trying to do as many things that you need to do in your business as an entrepreneur in that window. Try to do them in that window. So, not saying I can't get stuff done in the evening. I have to do mundane things in the evening, or things that I can give to my kids, because my ability to get those things done, like I will literally at about 11 o'clock, I'll fall asleep at my laptop. It's just really sad and pathetic. And I'll wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and go, oh, I fell asleep. It's like, because this is not my optimal window. Everything starts to shut down. Blood sugar starts to drop, all of that stuff. Like the circadian rhythm just kicks in. It's like, oh, it's time to go to sleep. So anyway, so some of the things that I have used over my journey. So activity 1 and 2 is technically 3 and 4, but some of the activities I have used is, in order for me to stay on track when I'm working on my schedule, when I need to do things, like my goal is to always make sure that the things that I need to do in my business, that I have a set window of time for that. I will do time blocks and 30-minute sessions. So I know that in 30 minutes, my focused window might be 25 of those 30 minutes. So 25 minutes, I know I'm going to be able to get stuff done. So if I need to do accounting, I'm going to do it in that 25 minutes, as much as I can. And then I may take a 5-minute break, walk around and then sit down again and do another 25 minutes. So that way I can continue on, even if I say, okay, I'm going to do accounting for an hour. The reality is I'm not really doing accounting for an hour. I'm really doing the accounting for about 50 minutes. Because I'm going to take a brain break in the middle of there. I'm going to go use the restroom. I'm going to go drink some water. And I have that window. I set alarms on my phone so that when it is time to do certain things, that I can get a notification that, hey, it's time for me to do whatever it is I need to do. So if it's time for me to sit down and start doing sourcing, I have an alarm for that on my phone. I also have a schedule on my calendar. If it is time for me to start either creating new listings or import data or export data out, again, I've got time set on my calendar. If I have a coaching session, a training session, if I need to pick up the kids from school, I have reminders for everything. When I have doctor's appointments, I have reminders for that. And I use my phone, the alarm section. Like if you go to the clock on your phone, because most phones work this way these days, there is an alarm, there's a timer option, and there's an alarms option. I use the alarm for the things that are recurring. When I have meetings with any of my VAs regarding my business operations, I set an alarm that's 2 minutes before that meeting so I can stop what I'm doing, had come to a good stop, and then jump on the call with them. So if the call is at 8:30 in the morning, I have an alarm at 8:28 on my phone so that I can jump on the call with them at 8:30. There's nothing like working on something and not bringing it to closure, and then you lose that thought because you're in a trance, you're in that deep pattern, and you lose that thought and because you have to have a hard stop right now. So at least that 2-minute buffer, and sometimes a 3-minute buffer, gives me an opportunity to transition so that I am not going, oh my God, I forgot that thought and I needed to write that down. The other thing is, whenever I have doctor's appointments, if I say that I'm going to work in my business from 7 a.m. until 12 noon, I make sure that I don't schedule doctor's appointments between 7 and 12, unless I don't have a choice. Like I had to go get a CAT scan recently, so I didn't have a choice because that was the only window that they had. But if there is something that I need to do, I know that my most optimal productive time a day is first thing in the morning. I don't schedule anything else during that time. I don't get an oil change. I don't go fix dinner. I don't wash clothes. I don't go to doctor's appointments. I don't schedule the kids' appointments for that. Everything I do is after that window. So if I got doctor's appointments, they're after 12 o'clock. Most people, I hate going to the doctor after 12, but you know what? My business is more important. The doctor's appointment, I'll get over it because we all know if you go to the doctor's appointment in the afternoon, you know that your doctor's not coming in there until like an hour after your appointment was scheduled. Let's just be honest about it. So because the doctor is behind and they're playing catch up. So in any case, I make sure that I don't schedule anything during that window. So I use my phone to be able to set certain alarms for things that are recurring every single week. Recurring every single week for me is meeting with a couple of my VAs, meeting with my business partner. These are things that are on my schedule. Doing my sessions for eCom Sellers Podcast, doing my trainings, they're all alarms on my phone. They go off all the time. When my son has his counseling session with his counselor, it's an alarm on my phone. So I use my phone for recurring appointments, and you can set that up on your phone. The other thing that I do is I use my Google Calendar. We're going to come back to that. And then I use kitchen timers. I use the kitchen timers that you can buy at the Dollar Tree. You can buy them for $1.25 now, but I use kitchen timers so that if there is something I need to do in a 30-minute window, I will set it for 30 minutes, knowing that in reality, I'm probably going to be most productive in 25 minutes. Because again, you got to get the juices flowing for whatever it is you're about to do. And so by the time those juices start flowing, it's really not a full 30 minutes. It is around 25 to 20 minutes. I also, if there's something I need to do that's like for an hour or 2 hours, I will play music. I will go to YouTube and I will play music in the background while I work. I'll play it on low. And I found that there's like the study songs, and we're going to show those in just a second. The study songs that you can catch on YouTube, or if there's like maybe I need to do a listing activity and I'm going to block 1 hour for it. So what I'll do sometimes is like I'll go pick up the song Pharrell's Happy, and it plays in a loop. They have an hour-long version, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's on YouTube. So I'll play that low in the background while I engage in whatever that activity is for 1 hour, so that when the song is over, I know that I can stop. So I know when I'm stopping. For my kids, I'll put a note on my door. You could do a clock in, clock out kind of situation where you have to force yourself to feel like you're an employee at a company, because you are. You have to take off your boss owner hat. And if you're working in your business, you got to put on the employee hat. You always have to ask yourself at the end of the day, if I were me, would I rehire me tomorrow? You don't have to answer that question today, but based on your performance, would you rehire yourself tomorrow? That's always a question. So I'm going to show you how I use my calendar. I think, the phone hack is always a great one because we carry around our phones like crazy. They're like mini computers. So I don't know what calendar's on here. So I'm going to try to clear it off. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to, this is my Google Calendar. I always have 9,000 things on it. And as you can see, I'm sort of an organization freak. I have all of these mini sub calendars for things that I do and activities that I'm engaged in. And they are on my calendar. So how do I get multiple calendars? Because most of you probably have your name calendar and a Google. If you don't have a Google Calendar, I would encourage you to go create one. That's the first thing. The second thing is you probably have the holidays and you have your name, and maybe you have a task, and that's maybe it. Like, I don't know what else you have. So, and you have a contacts. I think those are defaults for Google. So you have a contacts, you have task, and then you have holidays, and that's it. The way that you create a new calendar, I'm over here, is I click on other calendars and I click on new calendar. Okay. So I'm creating a new calendar, and I'm just going to call this, I don't know. You call it what you need to call it for the purposes of this exercise. I'm just going to call it test because I already have 9,000 of them. But you may want to call yours productivity. You may want to call yours, e-commerce schedule, whatever works for you. And you click on the words create once you create it. So you can pull yours up now if you want to, and do this with me. You're going to go to your Google Calendar. You're going to go scroll down, and you're going to click on the plus sign and add a new calendar. And then you name the calendar what you need to do, and you can click on create calendar. Once you click on create calendar, it says creation is in progress, and it says it's been created. This is message at the bottom. So once it's been created, I'm going to go click on the arrow to go backwards on settings. And now I'm going to scroll down, and I now have this test productivity calendar that now exists. This test productivity calendar can be available to you on your phone if you have a Google, Gmail account. You literally can go to the calendar and actually display that on your phone. You can also set reminders for different things. So if I am going to be most productive in my business, and this is the 11th, so let me go to next week. So I want to be productive in my business, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to work on this whole building this calendar thing that Nicole talked about. So my kids normally get out the door at around 7:30, and then I have to go back and, I don't know, close the refrigerator and fix the cabinets and whatever else I have to do, because those kids are I love them, but they get on my nerves. I am going to go ahead and create my first task. So I'm going to have a time block. And maybe the first thing that I need to do in my business, and you need to think about this. What are the things that you need to do in your business that are going to keep your business moving forward? Well, you have listing related activities. You have some product research related activities. Maybe there's some shipping related activities. And if you've outsourced shipping, maybe it is the validation or review to make sure that the shipping did actually occur if you've outsourced it. Maybe it's just some inventory reconciliation. Maybe it is product research ideas or creation. So there's customer service, follow-up. So there's activities that you do in your business as an e-commerce seller, regardless of what method, whether you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, drop shipping. You could have your own Shopify store, you're doing print on demand. Doesn't matter. You still have some basic activities. All sellers have to list stuff. All sellers have to ship some stuff. All sellers have to do some product research or sourcing or whatever. They got to ship some stuff. And all sellers have possibly some level of customer service and or follow-up that you need to check on. Like, oh, okay, I need to make sure I got my refund back from Amazon or whatever it happens to be. So you have some customer service related activities. So the things that are going to make you the most money, I'm going to do those things first. Those are the priorities for me. I might just kind of review to see if there's anything that I need to do in my business first thing, so that if I didn't get those things addressed yesterday, that I take care of them first thing in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I have a customer service related activity, if I could spell today. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and create that task. I may not make it a full hour. So what you can do is click on this more options. And again, you need to write down what your activities are. I'm just showing you how you might create it. And maybe that customer service activity and or customer related activities, maybe that's what you really want to call it. And this is following up on emails. If you're running your own store, checking to see if there's any customer questions about dimensions or sizes of anything, dealing with customer refunds or returns, checking to make sure that they came in, whatever it is, some kind of customer related activity. That's maybe the activity that I have. So when I clicked on more, I have the opportunity to repeat this. And I can repeat this every day. And I can say, once I click on, what I did was I clicked on the word repeat, does not repeat, and I went to custom. Once I click on custom, I can choose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And maybe those are the days in which I actually focus on some customer service related activity. If you're working on Saturdays, you can put that too. You can say when this ends. For me, I'm just going to have a repeat forever on my calendar because it's an activity that I don't ever want to forget, and I can click done. Okay. You can choose a color for this particular activity. I will choose gray for this, just for the purposes of this exercise. And you can add a notification. If you have notifications turned on your phone, you can say, I need a notification for this 10 minutes before, and it will send you a notification that you have customer service related activities that you got blocked for 30 minutes. Now, is it going to take me 30 minutes to do those customer service related activities? No. When I first started my business, it doesn't take me any time, like 1 minute and I'm done, maybe. So, and this is all like refunds, returns, customer inquiries, replying to email, whatever it happens to be, all of that stuff. It may only take you 1 minute to knock it out. But as your business grows and evolves, having this habit in place of I have a customer related activity that I need to go resolve and get done so I can reply back to my customers first thing in the morning is not a bad habit to build. Okay. So I'm going to save that, and you'll notice that now I have this customer related activity on my calendar and it's blocked. Okay. So then the next thing that I might do is I may have a product research. Now, this could be, again, depending on how you run your business, that product research related activity could be online research. It could be going through catalogs of wholesale suppliers. It could be doing research online. Maybe it's following up with your VA and your VA is doing the product research until you're just reviewing whatever your VA gave you. I don't know, but you have some level of product research. It could be if you're doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, you might be going out to stores and actually scanning products and buying inventory at that point and bringing it back home. So again, you have a product research related activity, you could call it sourcing. however you want to label it. You're going to engage in an activity that's going to, you don't make any money at that moment, because when you make money is when the item is listed. Okay. Hashtag facts. So you only make money when items are listed. People can't find what they cannot, people can't buy what they cannot find. So if it is not listed on any platform, it is not active on your Shopify store, people can't buy it. Regardless of whether or not you're driving traffic to your store or not, people can't buy it if you don't have it listed. So the sourcing activity doesn't necessarily make me money yet, but if I'm smart about the product research and the sourcing, then I could make money, okay? So this is an activity maybe that you engage in every single day in your business. You can set the amount of time. You can say, I'm going to do this for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it happens to be. You need to write down what you're currently doing today so you can figure out what you're going to do in the future. If you're saying you're doing product research for 3 hours today, but the reality you're really only doing an hour, let's be more efficient in our business. Let's be more focused in our business. And let's actually give the time the right amount of time. So I'm just going to put an hour for the purposes of this activity. And I'm going to click on the do not repeat and change it to custom. I'm going to say I do this Monday through Friday, and I'm going to click done. And it's going to repeat forever, Monday through Friday on my calendar. Whenever I pull up my product testing productivity calendar, I'm going to set a reminder so that if I have notifications on my phone, it comes up, and I'm going to give it the color of blue. Okay. So now I've saved that. Now I have product research and sourcing. So the next thing that's going to make me money is listing. So I am going to either create new listings, tweak existing listings, modify listings, whatever, do more keyword research on my listings, whatever you're doing on your listings. Okay, so I'm going to set 8:30 to 9:30 for that. Again, we're just doing an exercise. I'm going to click on does not repeat. I'm going to choose custom. I'm going to put this Monday through Friday. I'm going to click done. I'm going to change this to green. Why? Because this is an activity that makes me money. And just as one more thing, I may actually put dollar signs so that way I know that this is an activity that's going to make me money. I got to create some listings on some platforms, or create new product listings on my Shopify store, or tweak existing, or whatever you need to do so that you can, get things going. I'm going to click custom. I've got that done. I'm going to make sure I have a notification. So I click add notifications. You can change the time if you want to. You can change it to minutes. You can change the hours, whatever you want. But I'm making this green because this is something that makes me money. So now we're building out a schedule. Okay. Then I have a shipping or shipping validation activity. Maybe you're not shipping yourself. Maybe you've outsourced shipping operations. So I'm just going to double check to make sure that my stuff got shipped out, with whoever my fulfillment center is, or that stuff got checked into my prep center, or things got checked into Amazon, whatever your process is. You got a shipping activity that maybe you're shipping stuff off to your fulfillment center, or maybe you're actually fulfilling customer orders because people bought stuff from you, but it is an activity. You can call it shipping activity if you want to, or you can call it something else. But I want you to think about this. This is actually an income producing activity. It's an income producing activity because of the fact that it makes you money, because that way the customers already paid you somewhere, because you're going to ship something, or you're going to verify something got shipped. The key is, the reason why you're doing this activity is because you don't want to give the money back. If something doesn't get shipped, the customer's going to request a refund. You're going to have to give them money back. You have to issue a process of return. You're going to have to process a refund. You have to do all this stuff. You want to keep the money. So this is an income producing activity, because that means you get to keep the money. So you need to make sure that you're checking with your fulfillment center. How many orders have they processed today? How many things did they ship out today? If you're outsourced, if you're doing Amazon FBA, did my inventory get checked in? Does it, how many orders are they processing for me? You need to be checking your numbers on a regular basis, even if this shipping activity is just looking at the numbers and not physically doing anything. Okay, maybe you actually package up your stuff to be shipped on Saturdays if you're doing FBA. I don't know, whatever this happens to be. So since we're talking about Shopify, again, you might be outsourced to a prep center. Maybe it's inventory getting checked in from China. So you have the inventory shipped directly from China to your fulfillment center, and you're checking to make sure that they got it checked in because you potentially have pending orders. So again, there's a shipping related activity that could have many different pieces to it. You should be doing something in your business every single day related to either shipping review, shipping audit, shipping checking, whatever it happens to be, you should be doing a shipping activity. Okay. So we're going to put this on our calendar. We choose the do not repeat custom, and I'm going to choose this Monday through Friday. And I may actually go through Saturday, and I may change the time on Saturday. I can always move that time block. And I'm going to save because, again, this keeps money coming into your business. So now I've got 2 green activities. If I wanted to move this, I literally just go up here and I move it underneath customer service. It asks me, do I just want to change it this one time on December the 18th, or do I want to change it on all events? I want to change it on all events. Oops, undo. Let me undo that. I just want this activity. So hold on. All events. There we go. I'm going to change this one. So I'm going to save. Actually, what I'm going to do first, let me show you how you do this. Sorry, I did this wrong. So I'm going to come here, do custom, take Saturday off, save. I'm going to copy this text though, save. Events. Okay, so now Saturday is gone. Put it up here, put it as green, put it as repeat. It's going to be every Saturday. So you can just choose weekly on Saturday. Add the time reminder. I don't know which green I chose. Save. Okay, so now every Saturday, when I scroll forward, so this is the week of the 12th. When I go to the week of the 19th, it's on Saturday. When I go to the week of the 26th, it's on Saturday. When I go to the week of January. So you can see that it's there. It's an activity that I'm going to engage in my business. Okay. So now I'm working in my business from 7 a.m. until 10:30. I have activities assigned that I'm going to do in my business. And again, you can put them in big chunks. You just need to make sure that during those windows, you don't schedule and you're not checking the laundry. You're not putting the stuff in the crock pot. You're not doing any of that. Like do the crock pot work before. If you're going to meditate, read the Bible, whatever you need to do, plan your day, do that before you're actually supposed to be doing physical work in your business. All right. So then the next thing is I have either administrative tasks where maybe I need to audit, reconcile, whatever it happens to be. You can break down each one of those where you have an audit task that maybe you audit your business once a week. Maybe you audit it daily. Maybe you reconcile some things. Maybe you do research. Maybe there's following up with your VAs. I don't know what it is. So if it's VA work, you type VA here. If it is, if it is some type of audit that you need to do and it's once a week, you can set it to once a week. If it is whatever it happens to be, make sure you put it on your schedule. So I'm going to put admin work. I'm going to put 30 minutes for that. And I'm going to choose a completely different color. I'm going to choose orange for that. I'm going to choose the drop down for custom. And I'm going to say maybe I have admin work once a week or every week. And I'm going to set a notification and there you go. It is set. And if I am going to, and everyone should be doing this, investing in learning, investing in yourself and getting better in your business. Maybe you want to get better at driving more traffic to your listing. So you want to get better at keyword research. Maybe you want to get better at finding better images for your products. And so you want to do some image research or learning. Maybe you want to get better at sourcing products. Again, you're going to have to invest in yourself. That is a tax write-off, all of that fun stuff. And in your admin, you could say you're doing taxes, whatever it happens to be. So I am sorry, this is not sourcing, this is education. So there should be an education related activity that maybe you only engage in once a week. And I do it on Sundays and I engage in it and I'm committed to the growth of my business. And I am going to put it as purple. It happens every week and on Sunday. So you can say it's every Sunday. I dedicate an hour to go learn. What that does is it keeps you out of the vortex of YouTube all day long. Oh, I went and learned this and on YouTube. And then you figure out 4 hours later, you've been on YouTube and you haven't gotten anything done in your business. So you could have dedicated time. If you're going to go down the rabbit hole, if there's a thought, what I normally do is if there's a thought or some kind of video that I accidentally came across, I will literally copy the URL and paste it into a notepad so that when I come to education, I can attach this notepad to this folder and I can go back to those YouTube videos. Or if there was somebody's training that maybe I was marketed, and so I was like, oh, I got to go look at this. I'm going to buy it, but I'm not going to look at it right now. I'm going to go look at it on my dedicated education time. So I'm going to put the URL, the login ID, password, save that information, attach it to this window so I can go and work on it at that time. Not right now, do it later. Okay, you can set this to be as long as you need it to be. If you need it to be 2 hours, if you feel like, because you're early in your e-commerce journey and there's some things you want to learn. I want to get better at Facebook ads. I want to get better at Google ads. I want to understand, how to do YouTube ads. Maybe I want to learn how to record YouTube product videos. I want to, whatever it happens to be. Maybe you're going to try out that whole online shopping, sort of the quasi version of, Facebook shopping. And so maybe you want to try that to showcase your product. I got to go learn about it. I got to go do some research. So decide what you're going to do. You can always put it down in the description, set some time for it. And so now it's on your schedule on a regular basis. And when you think you're about to get sucked into the vortex, just go to that week and say, okay, maybe you found it on Tuesday. And so next Sunday, I'm going to come into next Sunday, which is the 19th. We'll double click on it. And I'm going to paste that information here so that I don't get sucked into the vortex. When I get to Sunday, I can open up on the 19th. I can open it up and go, oh, this is today. I'm going to focus on this thing so that I can stay productive and focused in my business. Now, you can use this for everything else in your business, like, outside of your business. So doctor's appointments, you can clearly see that I have 9,000 calendars, but doctor's appointments are on here. When my kids have therapy is on here. When my helpers come into the house, that helps me in my e-commerce business. When the therapist is coming to the house to help me with my kids, like my calendar is very colorful. And again, the goal is for you to start the process of building habits that are going to help you to be more productive in your business. What are the things that are going to grow your business? And what are the things that maybe you're not good at? You suck at them. It's okay. We all suck at different things. Trust me. So if it's something that you really are not that good at, and you're like, I want to spend in the next 3 months getting better at XYZ. I want to get 3 months. I'm going to get better at Facebook ads, or I want to spend 3 months and I want to get better at creating product listings. Then do that. Dedicate that time to product listings for 3 months. And I guarantee you, if you continue to work on getting better at product listings over 3 months, at the end of that 3 months, like you go, oh, my sales have gone up exponentially. Oh, I'm getting more traffic on my listings. All these things are getting better. You commit to one thing that's going to help you to grow your business and get better at it. So going back to this, I encourage you to look at your Google Calendar. Can be your friend. It's also visible on your phone. It makes people go, oh my gosh, you got this color-coded calendar. It's very bright. There's a lot of colors on it. It's okay. It's your calendar. I'm not here to be judged by you. I'm here to be productive in my business. So what you have to say doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be productive in my business. I'm going to be productive in my life. So look at using Google Calendars. It's absolutely free. I use kitchen timers for time blocks that I really need to focus. So that way, maybe I have a hard stop in this calendar. Maybe I have a doctor's appointment in this example. I have a doctor's appointment at 11:30. So I have a hard stop. That kitchen timer is going to allow me to make sure I don't go over my 30 minutes. And again, when you have that block of 30 minutes, know that of that 30 minutes, 25 of it is probably really going to be focused. Because again, it takes a minute for your brain to ramp up, get the thoughts in your head. What am I doing? And you get into the swing of it before you have to stop. So think about that. How would you lay your schedule out? The thing that you're going to have to start in this exercise is you need to write down what are the activities that you're doing in your business. Write down what those major activities are that you currently do in your business. What are those things that you need to do? What are the things that need to happen in your business? So that way you can begin to compile or create a schedule that's going to help you to be more focused. If you find over time, what you might want to do for about 2 weeks is just kind of look at what you're doing right now. And right now you don't have a Shopify store, but you will eventually. You're going to have to slide Shopify into this e-commerce journey if you're an existing seller. If you're not an existing seller and this is brand new for you, then start building out a schedule so that you have time to commit to your Shopify store. Start rearranging. I got doctor's appointments. I need to move that doctor's appointment from here to here. I have dentist appointments. I need to move that. Oh, I had on my schedule to do my oil change. I need to move that. Oh, I have a massage. I need to move. Start moving stuff out of the way so you're clearing the space to grow your business. You're clearing the space to be focused in your business and to commit to the time that's needed to help your business to be successful. So I really do hope that everybody does that. We take a deeper dive in this in our annual planning, but I want you all to commit to doing that in your business. So you need to write down what your income producing activities are, or write down your income generating activities, whichever you want to call it. And also the other things that you do in your business. You have a record. You should be having an accounting activity that you need to do. You should have some level of, so you can call it accounting, you can call it reconciliation, you can call it taxes, call it something. But you should be looking at your numbers from a profitability standpoint, and you also should have an activity around your taxes. You should have an activity around sourcing products and product research. Maybe you separate those two out. Maybe keyword research. So you have an activity around keyword research. You should have an activity, definitely have an activity around listing, around creating listings or adding new products to your store or importing products into your store. You're going to have an activity around running ads. So you're going to have a little bit of money to be able to run ads. And you're going to have a shipping related activity. So those things are going to be things that make you money, whether you're physically shipping yourself or you've outsourced it to somebody else. Doesn't matter. It's still an activity. Something is being shipped somewhere, whether it's inventory being received into your fulfillment center or it's products that are being shipped to your customers. Something's being shipped somewhere. In this cycle, there's a lot of shipping going on. So unless you're making them at home at the time, you still got to ship it to your customer. So you should have something around your education. You should have something around, if you have a VA, admin stuff. So make sure that you're sitting down and creating a schedule. Okay, create a schedule. And as you're going through this activity, there's going to be things where your timing is off. You can go into your calendar and you can tweak it. Let me just show that real quick. I'm going to do that real quick. So if for some reason, this window of administrative needs to be hypothetical, this is hypothetical, needs to be bigger, like starting on the 20th, you discover you've done it for 2 weeks or a week or whatever. So let's say you've done it for 2 weeks. So on the 27th, you discover, I need more than 30 minutes. This is not enough time. So you can come in here and you can say, okay, if I need more time, maybe you need, 2 hours. We know you don't need 2 hours, but let's just go with it. I can click save. It's going to ask me, do I want to save this going forward? And the answer is yes. So the first couple of weeks, I had allotted 30 minutes. Now I have expanded it out to 2 hours. Make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. Is this making sense to everybody in the chat? I just want you to go ahead and tell me, yes, it makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. I don't get what you're talking about. None of this makes sense. You can type in the chat whether or not you understand what I'm saying and whether or not you find any of this helpful. That would be great. Just type it in the chat. All right. So the activity is that you're all going to build a realistic schedule. Start with 1 week, okay? And just kind of do a brain dump of what you think you're doing. I want you to really think about what you're doing right now in your business. If it's absolutely nothing and you've never done e-commerce before, that's okay too. What you need to do is you need to find windows to work in your business that you can commit to on a regular basis. Windows that you can commit to on a regular basis. And if you are doing things in your business, I want you to build a schedule and I want you to test drive it. And then you're going to take that schedule and you're going to tweak it and test drive it again. And I know this time of the year is kind of misleading because there may be activities that you've doubled your activity in this window. And so then things might return to normal for you, like January the 30th or something. And so this window may require more time. It's okay, build that schedule because it may be something that you can use every single October, November, December, and January. And then February through September, you got a completely different schedule that is reduced. So again, think about that schedule, write it out on paper, and then try to execute it and let's see what happens. Again, if you're a new seller, go move some stuff out of your schedule and find that window in which you're going to be most productive. All right, so let's get into some Shopify stuff. What is Shopify and why should you be selling on Shopify? So Shopify is your opportunity to have your own storefront, which we all want you to be able to have your own storefront to be able to sell products. You could be selling, I put dog leashes. I always use dog leashes. I don't know why I choose that, but anyway, fishing rods, tennis shoes, wall clock. Like you can sell all kinds of things, okay? It's like having your own, indirectly, your own Walmart store. Now, I should probably not say your own Walmart store, or Kohl's or whatever. It really is like maybe having your own PetSmart or your own, what is it, Hollywood Pets? I think there's a Hollywood Feed is one of those stores. That's a pet store. Your own candles store. I don't know the name of the store that's actually in candles. But again, it's specific to a specific product, your own AutoZone. So it's really more like that than it is a Walmart, Target, or Kohl's, because you do get to sell a variety of products, but most likely it is around a specific theme. So maybe you have products that are specifically just for women, or products that are specifically for men or children. Maybe you're selling all clothing, so that's your clothing niche. Maybe you're selling, again, I have tennis shoes on here, so that could be applicable. Some other platforms that you could sell products on. I didn't put Magento on here, but Magento is one of them. Wix, WooCommerce, Weebly. All of these are other platforms. But the one thing that Shopify does for you is that they are easy to set up, the store. And I say easy subjectively. Like once you invest the time, and we're going to go through, we're going to set up the store together. So I'm going to say hypothetically, it's easy. It's easy for you to populate products into your store, a variety of different products into your store. There are tools that they have to be able to import products in, or you can manually set them up yourself. They have a bunch of free tools, so you can help manage your store, a bunch of apps, and we're going to talk about what those apps mean. I have to show you so you can, maybe it makes a little more sense. They offer 24/7 customer support. So again, if you run into a challenge and it's technical and I don't know the answer to it, then you can always reach out to Shopify and they can help answer those questions. It is low cost to start up, and it has low fees. So unlike Amazon and some of the other platforms, like these are your products, your store, you own the customer data, you own the fees that you're going to be paying for a Shopify store. I think it's like $29 each month. And so you'll just be paying for a store for $29. They have all kinds of, like I said, apps. The thing you will have to set aside is you may need to have a budget of, I'm going to say just off the cuff, probably should have a budget of close to around at least $100, maybe to $200 every single month. You can do $5 ads, depending on what you're selling. But the goal is for us to find products that we can do some really good keyword research, find products that are in demand, and sell those products. So we are going to do a product research activity. It's probably going to take at least an hour, but we're not doing it today. Okay. So they have a lot of features, things that they will automate for you. There's pretty much almost nothing that you can't sell in the Shopify store. And again, you don't have the intervention like you do on some of the others. Now, they will get involved if they get a bunch of notifications that people have bought a bunch of stuff from your store and it's not being shipped. Like that's a problem. That means you're just sitting there collecting money. So they will get involved there. But for the most part, Shopify is amazing. So you have, you can sell handmade stores. There's so many different business models that you can have. You can sell handmade stuff. Maybe there's stuff that you make, you're very creative and you're good at it. Wholesale products, drop shipping products, print on demand products. There's so many different products that you could potentially sell from your Shopify store. So we're going to talk about a general store versus niches, and print on demand, drop shipping, and then a one product store versus a combination. So niches versus a general store. So the example of a niche is fly fishing in this example. So fly fishing supply store. If you are only selling one specific fly fishing item, and I'm going to talk about a couple of these in combination, Maybe you're only selling one specific fly fishing tool versus a variety of different fly fishing tools. I don't know the first thing about fly fishing, so I normally say leashes, dog leashes at this point. If I was selling a specific leash, I'll switch to that. If I was selling only one leash, I would have that one product store model. Maybe it was a neon glow in the dark leash and that's it. And it's only for small dogs, nothing else. Can't buy anything else. You come to it because it's a glow in the dark and it is trendy and people want it. Okay. You'll see during the holidays, people will set up a trendy one product Shopify store. It happens all the time. Those ads that you see, those Facebook ads that you see in your scroll, where they're showcasing one specific product and no other products. Again, those are typically products where they've drop shipped the item. They're drop shipping it. It is a one product item, and it is definitely a niche for that one thing. If I were selling dog leashes and I had a variety of different dog leashes for big dogs, small dogs, medium-sized dogs, and I had maybe accessories that kind of go with the dog leashes, like different handles for the owners to buy, all that stuff, it would be more of it's still a dog leash store, but it's a variety of different dog leashes versus one. And I could expand that out to put more things in there. Maybe it's toys and dog costumes or clothes or pet beds and things like that. Then becomes a pet store than just a dog leash, one singular leash. So you have the opportunity to niche down. If you're selling candles right now, maybe you have a variety of different scented candles that you sell or you make. you could list those products in your store or on your store, showcase them. The one thing about any of these stores, you gotta make sure you have good pictures, guys. So make sure you have good pictures for all your products that people can find those products and that they have good pictures on it. Okay, that they can see them really well, that they pop, that the picture is in the middle, and we're going to come back to that on listings. But you need to decide what is a niche that you want to focus on. We're going to look at a couple of stores. Then we have the print on demand versus the drop shipping model. Print on demand, again, is you're using a source, to impose an image onto a something, whether it's a coffee cup, whether it is a t-shirt, a pillow, some leggings, a backpack. You're putting that image, whatever it happens to be. It could be words. It can actually be a graphic picture. It's being placed onto a list of products that are available in a specific print-on-demand supplier store. So an example of those might be Printify, Printful. Those two, place it. They all have a list of products that you can put your logo, your image on, your words on. They have a list of products. These are options that are available to you. Drop shipping, again, this is where a lot of people drop ship directly from China. So this is where you have products that you have maybe a wholesale supplier will drop ship for you, but someone else, when the item is purchased, someone else is shipping it out to your customer for you. Okay, so it's not something that you physically have in hand. It is something that it lives somewhere else. So we're going to look at a couple of these stores. You need to decide which model you want to go after. Maybe you already have a private label product and you've decided I am going to have a niche store that's a general store or a combination store. Maybe I'm going to sell a combination of print-on-demand products and print-on-demand products, and I'm going to sell non-print-on, like drop shipping products. Or, maybe I have physical products I'm going to ship, and so the person might get 2 orders. You can create virtual listings, things like that. So we're going to look at a couple of stores, and I have to pause for just a second because I actually did do the exercise of a couple of stores. I got to go find something real quick. Didn't already have this done, so I apologize. Let me stop sharing for just a second. 2 seconds. Sorry about that. All right, I'm opening the stores right now. Okay, let me go back to sharing my screen. All right, so I pulled up a variety of different stores. So this first store, they look like they are selling clothes. Looks like there's a specific print or design on it. So they have a specific saying or print or design on it. So they've got a couple of different things happening. This could be a print on demand store because they got a specific design that's going on the clothes themselves. Okay, so that's the first thing. They could actually have a combination of they've ordered the product, so maybe they've ordered this particular product and then they're having it printed, the logo or whatever design printed on it. Then you can see that they have this stuffed animal. So this could be a drop shipping item, or maybe again, maybe they're doing this all inside their store. This particular item right here, but this particular store looks like it could be a combination of print on demand. It looks like it could be also drop shipping, or it could be something that they're really making in-house. They could be making all these in-house. Okay, so this particular store, they're clearly selling a variety of different gifts. Some of these gifts, they may be things that they're making because it looks like it's all lavender. It's proudly Canada. Some of it could be drop shipping. I don't think any of it looks like it is print on demand. They're clearly doing product bundles. I love product bundles. This is a great picture of product bundles. I love that. So they're probably a private label supplier that may be ordering pieces of their stuff that they've ordered from a wholesale supplier. This is probably a product that they truly make themselves, maybe, because it feels like it's on a farm. So they're packaging it themselves. I'd have to go and, let us take care of the wrapping. So it could be that that's what they're doing. But this looks like maybe they've got a private label product. Looks like they're making, here's the deal. There's a possibility, maybe it's not. Maybe they are putting their particular label on existing products that may be white labeled. So maybe they have a sanitizer and they put their little product label on the front of this. So it's different than having a print on demand. And so white label suppliers are suppliers that have products. Like an example would be a bottle of wine. So that's not a print on demand opportunity. A bottle of wine is made by a specific manufacturer and distributor, and that distributor is allowing other people to put their product brand on the actual bottle of wine. So even though the print on demand suppliers offer you the opportunity to sell hand sanitizer, because they've got this elaborate design, it could be that this is really a white label opportunity, because they're also doing chapstick, lip balm. Looks like they've got a soap. So there might be a white label opportunity. We have to look into it further, or they could be making part of it themselves. They're working with a manufacturer distributor. But some of this looks like it could be white label. Some of it looks like it could be individual cards. So that may be a print on demand opportunity. So this might be a combination store that's got a couple of different things going on. I actually do like it. I like the layout of the store. So we're going to come over here. These guys are selling, is this a scent? I think this is a scent. Yeah, this is some kind of perfume. So they probably made it themselves. It's probably a private label supplier. And it is a perfume. And it took me forever to figure out what this was. So that's private label, it looks like. These are clothes, I think. And yeah. And so this may be drop shipping. It may be that they're working with a specific wholesale supplier that is making some of their stuff for them. These are clearly specific. So not that, but some of these clothes you could potentially acquire. There's different sites that will allow you to buy some of the things. And so they've got their name brand on it. They're probably working with a wholesale supplier to put their brand on it. This one is, they're making this, they're working with the manufacturer. So this is private label. And they're selling, I haven't tried any of these, but they're selling some products that actually have a lot of product reviews, which is a good thing. I like the fact that those product reviews are there. So we're going to come back to that store as one of the ones we're going to talk about. This is package free. So these are products that are sold without a lot of packaging. That's my assumption. So that makes it very, very interesting. This is definitely a niche store. Bamboo toothbrushes. Yeah. So they are clearly working. This is definitely private label, and they're definitely working with a specific manufacturer to get this done. Although some of these things, depending on where you source it from, because canvas bags are in Printful and they're also in Printify. So parts of this could be print on demand as well. And parts of it could be drop shipping. So if you curate a very good combination of products, you could be selling stores that are coming from white label, drop shipping, private label, print on demand, all at the same time, all in one store. That means that they could have 2 or 3 or 4 different integrations on this one Shopify store just to be able to curate all these products. This is a lot of different products, and it's not a bad store. Very interesting. Journals. Okay. So different designs for different stores, different layouts for different stores, different combinations for different stores. You could have a store that's a combination of many things, or it could be just one thing. So as part of your activity next week, what I want to do is I want you all to think about, we're going to come back into niches in just a second. I want you to think about, I don't know why I'm going backwards. I want you to think about your specific store. What is the product that you think you want to sell? We'll take a deeper dive into that next week. What is the product that you feel like you need to source? What is the product that you feel like you need to offer, or that you already have available to offer? What is the idea that you want to bring to market? I want you to think about that. If you don't have an idea, we're going to do an exercise next week. We're going to take a deeper dive into what are the products that you could, like, how do I find a product? And how do I come up with a product idea to put into my store? So we're going to do an exercise to go through that. But think about whether or not you just want to sell a single product, or you want to sell multiple, whether or not you think you want to do the print on demand thing. We're going to go look at Printful and Printify and place it. Those are some of the options. There's so many options, but they have integrations directly into Shopify. We're going to look at some of the tools if you want to do drop shipping. So you want to bring some drop shipping items into your store as well. And so I want you to think about what type of store potentially you want to set up. Do you want to have a combination store? That's a combination of print on demand and drop shipping. Or do you want to have something else? Do you have your own private label products? All right. So keywords. I don't know why I have the words explained here. That is so funny. So keywords are the words that people are using to find a specific product. An example would be Legos. Lego Batman. People are looking for Legos. They're typing into any search bar that they find, whether the search bar is on Amazon or whether the search bar is in Google. They're typing in the words Legos. If they're specifically looking for Batman, then they're going to type in Legos Batman or Batman Legos. And so those are the words that people are using to search for a specific item. Whatever you decide that you're going to sell, there's going to be some words that you're going to use to be able to find that particular product. If it is such a product that is so obscure that they can't figure out, that you can't figure out what words people might be searching to find that particular product, then maybe you should not sell that particular product. You need to start with something that you know people are looking for. Right now, a perfect example is people are probably looking for Christmas decorations. So they might type in Christmas decorations in the search bar in Google. They might also type in Christmas decorations in Amazon or in Walmart. They're typing in those two words together. They're looking for Christmas stuff. Could be Christmas wreaths. That's specific. Now you can get into, you can niche down even further and go Christmas wreaths for the door. And you can have Christmas wreaths for your gate, outside, or Christmas wreaths for whatever you want to choose. When I say Christmas decorations, you could put Christmas decorations and window clings. So these are window clings that are Christmas decorations. You can stick them on the window and they have the little decorations on it. It could be Christmas decorations, Snoopy, or window clings, Snoopy, or Charlie Brown, or Peanuts. So now we're niching down into, I'm looking for Christmas decorations. So I can get rid of Christmas decorations if I want to. I can just say Christmas, window clings, and Peanuts. And most people will figure out, oh, you want the Peanuts characters, like the Google search engine, the Amazon search engine will bring back the results of window clings, Christmas window clings, Peanuts. Okay, so they'll bring back that combination to be able to help you be able to give you the results of what that looks like. The other thing is that when you are deciding what products you potentially want to sell, you do need to know what keywords are being used to search for those. That is something that you're going to need to put into, like, think about the name of your store and also think about the products that you sell in the store. And when you are putting words into like a specific listing or finding products, that you can put those words into the listing, to the search term, you're going to be found more organically. Your products will be found more organically. A lot of people that create Shopify stores, they get frustrated because sometimes you have to spend a little bit of money to drive traffic. And so if you do $5 ads times 30 days, it's like $150. So I said, okay, $100 to $200, because you can do $5 ads and get traffic to your store. But if you can also organically help people to find you, that's going to be a good thing too. I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan. So Ted Lasso is this show that's on Apple TV. And I could be selling Ted Lasso products. So my keywords definitely going to be Ted Lasso. What if I want to sell Ted Lasso Christmas products? So again, or Ted Lasso gifts, or Ted Lasso coffee mugs, or Ted Lasso t-shirts, I'm going to literally put those into the title of the product that I'm going to be selling. So that when people go to Google and they're looking for Ted Lasso t-shirts, my results should come up in the search engine. I don't know if I'll come up on page 1 or page 2, but I should be pretty close because those are the keywords that people are using to actually find my product. What is my product? It's a t-shirt. What are they looking for? They're looking for a Ted Lasso t-shirt. If I wanted to throw the words Christmas in there, I can say Ted Lasso Christmas t-shirt. So you want to put the combinations that people actually are going to be using to search for those things. If you have private label products right now and you haven't really thought through what are the words that people are looking for or using to look for your product, you need to think about that. If you're going to narrow your store down to a specific niche, again, what is the product I'm going to sell? So next week, we're going to do an exercise where we're actually going to niche down on a specific topic that you personally know a lot about, so that you can figure out what products you could potentially be selling. Okay. The other thing is I want to encourage you this week to sort of pay attention to the Facebook ads that show up in your scroll. There's a lot of them right now. There's a bunch of them. I'm sure that people are selling a bunch of stuff on training, but I want you to actually think about the products. Like, was there an inflatable something that showed up on your news feed? Was there something that one of the things I noticed started coming up, and maybe it's because I wasn't looking for it, but it just started coming up, is the little blender. Because again, this is a product that personal blender. This is a product that will sell in December, but it also will sell in January. Why? Because people have New Year's resolutions. They want to improve their health. Maybe they want to start juicing. So this little blender thing, it's going to continue to show up in my news feed in December as a Christmas gift. And it's going to show up in January and February as people want to make changes to their life. They want to improve their health. So I want you to pay attention to some of the ads that are coming through on your pages. And I also want you to look at some of the Google ads. So the reason I want you to do that is I want you to pay attention to some of the words that are listed in the actual item or what they did. Maybe they showed a video, maybe they showed a still that they converted into video, I mean a photo that they converted into a video. What are they doing? Because some of that stuff is going to matter when you create your Shopify store. There's a reason why people stop in the scroll. It's either the words or the images that they're seeing in front of them that is grabbing their attention and causing them to stop in the scroll. So let me just go and look at, let's go over to Facebook. I haven't been over here. That's my son. Whoops. Over here. Okay, so I don't know what's over here. I got a lot of stuff. I know I'm going to have some ads. I have ads over here, some kind of coaching. This is an ad. Google Drive, Dropbox. Okay, not that. Oh, Toys R Us is coming back. Okay, with the vengeance. I have to look at that. Is that an ad? No, it's not an ad. Looking for an ad real quick. Okay, that's an ad. Get Google reviews automatically. Nope, I'm looking for a product. Right. Nope, that's not an ad. Okay, so I know that I saw that little blender thing, the hand. Watch when I do this, they'll start showing up in my Facebook feed. Because these people have done a really good job. They've done a really good job of following me around the internet. Okay, so these are the handheld blenders. So some of the words that they're using is this title has portable blender, it has personal blender, and it has mini shake juicer cup. So those are some of the words. If I wanted to dissect this a little bit more, I would actually go into the listing. I did not mean to go into the listing, but I would go into the listing and I would actually read all the words that are in the listing. So that when I get ready, if I'm going to sell this or something similar to it, or maybe I'm going to sell the accessories to it, then I want to know what words people are using to get this to show up. This is clearly the ads section. All of these manufacturers or all these sellers have paid for this space. Okay, it's under ads. They've paid for this space. Your goal is whatever products you're going to sell, you want your products to show up here automatically without you paying like $1,000 a month in ads. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure that you're using the words that people are looking for. So if you already know some existing, like you're selling some existing products, go search your products in Google. Not yours specifically, but the product that is, just identical to yours. What are the ads? And go look at the ads that are coming up. Make a note of the words that are in the ads so that we have an opportunity to win and getting the products to show up organically. And if you don't know what you're going to sell, again, we're going to do an activity next week that's going to help us to be able to help you figure out what you want to sell. You can see here, multiple products are showing up under blenders, okay? Then we have products, this is under Google Shopping, products that are broken down by a price range. So Google Shopping is helping you as I go down through the scroll. Walmart is doing the same thing as Amazon and showing a variety of products. And then as I continue to go down, then handheld images. So now I'm into images. Yeah, so we're going to name our images when we get ready to list our products inside of our Shopify store. So the activity that you're doing is, one, what is it that you think you want to sell? Okay, write that down if you already know what you're going to sell. Two, go Google it. Go Google it. Just Google it, whatever it happens to be. Also Google it on Amazon. Okay. Three, once you Google it, I want you to pull 3 or 4 of those listings and write down some of the keywords that are in the description of the product and the title of the product. You write down the price if you want to, but we're going to look at the description that they used, the title that they used, and then pay attention to the images that you're seeing. So of the images, this one is too small. Point blank, period, in the discussion. These are full, the entire block that's available, they're big. They're big. This is too small. This one is big. This is big. This is showing multiple things. This one is big. Pay attention because you need to make sure that your images are what? Big. Do you think someone is going to click on this one over this one? Or they'll pick this one over this one? Or pick this one over this one? This is too small. They have to literally be looking for this specific name because when I pull this up on my mobile device, it's small. It's not big, it's small. Okay, so I want you to think about that. Notice that is the case for all of these. They make sure that the images are big and full. So go look up your products that you think you want to sell or related products that you think you want to sell. Make a note of the title, make a note of the description, make a note of the images. And if you want to make a note of the price, that's fine too. We're going to use all of that information to help you build the most amazing Shopify store and to put the words, the titles, the whatever you need to naming the images so that you can get the most traffic possible to your store. Okay, that is your assignment. Okay, your goal is to find that out, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do a niche exercise next week. All right, so the next thing is where do I source my products? Where do I get them? So you have third-party suppliers, you can get products, and we're going to go into a deeper dive in products, but this is high level. You can get products directly from Alibaba, AliExpress, and some of the other wholesale suppliers. There's integrations that are available so that the products, you don't have to physically have them. You can actually sell them in your Shopify store and have an integration to their site. And then once the person buys it, it goes up to that site and the transaction occurs over there and they ship it to the customer for you. You have tools like our Burlow Dropified Sprocket. We use Dropified. I have a store for my son. And so we use Dropified. So when people buy things on his store through the Dropified app, the transaction will occur and it will be purchased on the original site and shipped to the customer from there. There's print-on-demand suppliers. I mentioned Printful and Printify. Again, these are suppliers for sourcing products. And then there's wholesale suppliers as well. Some of them have direct integrations into Shopify. Some of them do not. But you can use them as a source for your inventory. So if you decide you're going to buy inventory and you're going to ship it to your customer yourself, this is another way in which to do it. And again, a couple of these I think have actually done an integration at this point with Shopify. So you can actually have Shopify fulfill it on the back end. If you're going to source locally, we still are in the middle of COVID-13. So you just want to be mindful of that. The biggest thing I would suggest if you're going to source locally, like there's different, if you're going to source from stores, that's one thing. But if you're going to actually go out to suppliers that actually produce things in your area, I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I have wholesale suppliers available to me. You could find the wholesale supplier information online, look at their catalog online, and then hire someone from like TaskRabbit or Ship to go and pick up those things for you, or Postmates to go pick up the products for you to have them delivered directly to your house instead of you going out if you don't want to be exposed. If you are sourcing locally, there's just a couple of basic, housekeeping things that you need to keep in mind. Make sure that you have established a budget because you are going to be spending some money. So have a budget in mind so that you don't go broke. So as you're thinking about your Shopify store, I've already given you some numbers of $100 to $200 a month you need to set aside for potential marketing. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying potential marketing as you get started. The store itself is like $29. And again, you have a 14-day trial, so you don't have to think about that initially. But if you have to buy inventory, physical inventory, you need to have a budget to buy physical inventory. If you're not going to buy inventory, you're going to go do drop shipping or print on demand or Printify. That's another option. You may have to have a couple of upfront dollars to be able to make sure that the transaction to buy them on the other side is there until the money is released. So keep that in mind as well. If you're buying locally, keep your receipts, track your mileage, use coupons. I would, if there are some things like there's a lady, my next door neighbor, sorry, who sells watches. And so I'm working on getting her watches listed. She has a boatload of watches. So she has a bunch of antique watches. So that would be an antique watch store that I would set up for her to be able to sell her antique watches. We've been taking pictures of them. It's pretty cool. You also have some liquidators. Some liquidators focus on specific niches. So they may have stuff. If you're going to set up a pet store, you might check with your local liquidators to see if they have pet supplies that you can actually acquire from them. So that's something to keep in mind. And, I mentioned retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. Again, if you're sourcing locally, you can use retail and online arbitrage strategies. The thing that I use for my Shopify store for retail arbitrage and online arbitrage is if I'm creating bundles and I want to test a bundle before I purchase all the pieces from a supplier, then I might go to the store to go get the things I need to get, and I might buy them in quantity and maybe have 50 bundles. Like right now I have 200 stockings, Christmas stockings. So that would be Christmas stocking bundles that we make here in the house. And those would be products that I would list on my Shopify store if I was doing Christmas bundles, selling Christmas stocking bundles. So I don't have a Shopify store for Christmas stocking bundles. I sell them on other sites. But if I was going to, again, I have enough supply in my house that I can fulfill some of the orders until I figure out which ones are the ones that are selling the most, make more of those, order that directly from the wholesale supplier, all the pieces that go with it, and go from there. So wholesale, and working with a distributor is good, but sometimes you can come up with concepts and ideas by sourcing locally to build out, if you're doing like the subscription boxes, when we get into that, you might need to find all the pieces locally so you can build that subscription box. So I want you to think about that as well if you're going to source locally. Here are some of the stores that you could potentially source from locally. There's a couple of them that are not, these are on online stores. So you could order inventory from there to be able to sell products from Wayfair, Overstock, Hayneedle, that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing is we're really, as part of this activity, we're really going to focus more on distributors, wholesale. If you've got a private label product, that's great, print on demand, drop shipping. We're going to work on that for your Shopify store. So hopefully you don't have to touch inventory. If you have products that you're making, that's awesome. We can also, we'll talk through what you need to do to make that work with your Shopify store. Some of you are great at making soaps or candles and things like that. And so you could set up an amazing Shopify store, like the one that we saw for the lavender. So you can sell those products as well. So for next week, we've given you a whole bunch of stuff. One, I want you to review this video, come back and watch it. Think about what store model that you want. Build a real work schedule. We talked about that. I really want you guys to build a real work schedule. Think about your why. We talked about that as well. Decide on a niche. And if you don't decide on a niche, don't worry about it. We're going to do a niche exercise next week so that we're ready to go. We're going to start right at 9 o'clock on that niche exercise so we can take a deep dive into figuring out what's going to work for you. But I do want you to think about the products that you do have right now. If you have some, go do the product research on it. Go do the search on Google. Go do the search on Amazon. Pay attention to the titles, the pictures, the description. What are those things about it that you need to make a note of so that when we get ready to create your product listings in your store, that you have a fighting chance to be found organically. All right. So what questions can I answer for you right now? I hope this was helpful as a start. I look forward to seeing your stores, building your stores. I'm excited about that. If you don't have any questions, you can always come back to the Q&A that's at 3 o'clock. I'll be happy to answer your questions there. And I hope you got some value, get some ideas, some things to get you going on this journey. And with that being said, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm excited about building some stores. So we will talk with you at our next session. Goodbye for now.